Ma'am, shall we start, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Very good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of Department of Information System Management Science, we are happy to welcome the MG Celebrant, Secretary and Correspondent, Tirthanganadar College, Dr. S. Murugesan, Principal, Tirthanganadar College, to this webinar function. We are happy to welcome our today's chief guest, Professor Ramalakshmi Vasudevan, Associate Professor, Department of MBA, Kripanidhi Group of Institutions, Bangalore. On this webinar, we are proud to be able to host it today here at this wonderful place with all of you. Now it's time to welcome our chief guest, Professor Ramalakshmi Vasudevan. For that, I'm handing the session to Dr. S. B. Nino, Department of Information System Management Science, HOD.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Professor Ramalakshmi Vasudevan, she's qualification of 18 years of teaching experience as working as Associate Professor of MBA at Kripanidhi Group of Institutions, Bangalore. She is pursuing doctorate study management in the field of behavioral operation. She has presented and published 50 management research papers in national and international journals, which include 5 Scopus and 4 Web of Science publications. She has received master degree in mathematics from Annamalai University with operations research specialization. She was awarded a MPhil degree titled Geodesics on Various Surfaces by Sri Venkateshwara University. She has received master degree in management with specialization, operations management. She has received postgraduate diploma in finance management from IGNOU. She has received graduate diploma in operation research from Operations Research Society of India. She is Six Sigma Green Belt certified with A+ grade. She is the life member of Operational Research Society of India. She has professional expertise of statistics for management, quantitative techniques, operations research, business mathematics, business research methodology and marketing research, technology management, productivity techniques and total quality management, advanced operations research, computational and optimization techniques, probabilities and statistics, numerical analysis, discrete mathematics. She had conducted various workshops like data analytics, Excel workshop, SPSS workshop, etc. for research scholars and MBA students. Ma'am, I welcome you all for this session, ma'am, for a wonderful section. Okay, I'm
Thank you
hoping
so much.
that you're giving so many guidance for related to our project towards our students, ma'am. On the
Thank
behalf
you.
of the college, I welcome you all. And now I'm handing over the section towards you. You can project your session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction and the invitation. It gives me immense pleasure to be the chief guest as well as the resource person. Thank you so much for the management for giving me chance to speak as a resource person in this webinar. Especially, I am thanking the correspondent, secretary and correspondent sir, as well as the principal sir today for this session, for arranging this session. Uh, as the introduction is over, straightly I am going to the title. Dear students, very good afternoon. Today we are going to learn about how to do the statistical analysis for project report. So you will be doing your project report. You will be making the different chapters in that, like introduction, review of literature, industry profile, company profile, and you'll be mentioning the research design and all. So after that, you will be doing the data analysis. Data analysis plays an important role in your project report. So what you have learned while during the project by collecting the data, so that is the main thing in the project report. So let us learn how to do data analysis using the data what you are collecting during your project. So let me share the PPT related to data analysis. I'll be doing the live session with Excel, simple tools, percentage analysis, and the graphical method and all with you. You can observe that later, whatever doubts you are having, you can post it in the chat. Okay, let me start. So before starting the live session, how to do the data analysis, let us learn the basic things related to data analysis. So let me show you the screen. Can you, I hope the screen is visible to you. Okay, so let us start the data analysis part, how we have to do the basics of data analysis. So first, we are going to learn what is data, and then we will be learning the concepts related to data analysis. That is, you should know what is population, what is sample, what are the variables related, in your study, and how to summarize the data, how to summarize the data using diagrams, also the analysis part. So let us start learning what is data first. So data is nothing but the information what you are collecting during your project. So data tells you the answers to research questions. You will be having some research questions during your project. So it will give you the answer for your questions, research questions, and for that you will be collecting the data. So data, nothing but the facts, relevant materials, past or present. It will be serving you as the basis for your study and analysis. So the search for your, the search of answers for your research questions is nothing but the data, and the data you will collect properly. Suitable data you will be collecting for your uh, research study. So now let us understand the example for data. What is data can be classified broadly as primary data and secondary data. Before going to primary data and secondary data, let us understand the examples. With example, what is data? So, for example, if you take the types of loans secured by borrowers for a credit survey, or the sex, the age, social class, religion, income level of respondents in a consumer behavior study, or the marks obtained by the students of your class in a test on a particular subject. Otherwise, the opinions of people on voting in a general election, opinion poll, or the types of news read by newspaper readers or readership survey you can do. Similarly, the aspirations of management trainees or the emerging managers in Indian enterprises. Like this, whatever you are collecting, this information according to your research question, which are related to your research questions, you will be collecting the information that is nothing but data. So now the data, what is data and the examples, the types of data. See, data can be classified into um, like primary data or secondary data. Now data can be related to your organization, or it can be related to some social class, or it can be religion, it can be related to anything, whatever the variables are related to your study. Now suppose it can be, data can be related to the territorial areas, like geographic characteristics or resource development or population, occupational pattern, infrastructure, or it can be the degree of development, or like spatial divisions in villages, cities, taluks, like that. So data is very important for analysis because it serves as the basis of raw materials for analysis. Without an analysis of actual data, no specific inferences can be drawn. So it's very important to collect the data that is a suitable data for your study. So the relevance, adequacy, and reliability of the data determine the quality of the findings. If you do not collect the suitable data, your findings and interpretations will not be proper. So you have to collect the relevant data, adequate data, also the reliable data. Then only your findings and the suggestions will be proper. So data from the basis for testing the hypothesis we can formulate in a study. So data is very important. Like when you are producing a product, raw materials are very important. Similarly, data is also very important when you are doing your study. So for data analysis, the main raw material is data only. So let us learn about types of data. As I told you, data can be classified as the primary data or secondary data. So when you are using the data, no data collection, if you are using the primary sources, that data is called primary data. Suppose you are using the secondary sources, that is called secondary data. So what is primary data? So whenever you are doing the collecting the data initially, you are not using the data which is collected by somebody. You are collecting your own initially first time. So primary sources, like the original sources from which the researcher directly collects the data, have not been previously collected. That is called primary data. For example, collection of data directly by the researcher on brand awareness, or you can say brand preference or brand loyalty and other aspects of consumer behavior. Similarly, any topic when you are doing, first time primarily that you are not using any other collected data, you are doing initially by your own survey or interview method. That type of data is called primary data. Now what is secondary sources, or what is the secondary data? The data collected by the secondary, using the secondary sources, that is called secondary data. So the sources containing the data which have been collected already and compiled by another purpose, and the secondary sources consist of, like, readily available and already compiled statistical statements and reports whose data may be used by the researchers for their studies. So such type of data is called secondary data. For example, census reports, annual reports and financial statements of companies, statistical statements, reports of government departments, annual reports on currency and finance published by Reserve Bank of India. So like that, whatever data already collected, you are using them for your study. That is called secondary data or secondary sources. So the statistical statements related to cooperative banks or regional rural banks or the National Sample Survey Organization, from that you are collecting the data, or reports of trade associations, or publications of international organizations, trade and financial journals, newspapers. So from all the other sources, already whatever collected you are using for your study, that is called secondary data. So your study, you may be using primary data as well as secondary data. It depends upon the nature of the project. Some of the finance projects and all, you cannot use the primary data because financial statements of the company they may not disclose. Such time you will be using only the secondary data. But some of the topics will be suitable, even you can collect the primary data as well as the secondary data. Now let us understand about the data. We have understood how it can be classified as primary and secondary. Even data can be classified as quantitative data and qualitative data. Now, what is quantitative data? The term quantitative data represent various observations or measurements that are numerical. Wherever you can numerically, quantitatively represent the data, that is called quantitative data. So, for example, uh, whatever you can measure, like the population of your place, or the sales, amount of sales, the amount of production, such time we can quantitatively represent the data. So that is called quantitative data. But the term qualitative data, where and all you can numerically cannot measure, that is called qualitative data. Only you can describe them, but you cannot quantitatively measure. So such type of data is called qualitative data. So qualitative data, whenever is coming, the way of doing the analysis may slightly differ. When quantitative data is coming, we can use a different way the analysis. So the example, if you see for quantitative data, weight and height, or amount of production, amount of sales, standardized test scores, IQ, or number of days in the hospital, or income, or expenditure, weight. Like that, we can write the data you can represent in the quantitative form. For qualitative data, suppose gender, we cannot quantitatively represent the gender. So gender, ethnicity, marital status, religion, geographic location. So such type of information will be called as qualitative data. So data can be classified as quantitative as well as qualitative. Now let us understand the importance of analysis and interpretation. You are doing your project, you are taking a suitable topic according to your interest, and then you have started collecting the details related to your topic. So then you have collected the data. Now you will be doing the analysis. Only collecting the data and writing about the concept which you have taken is not enough. So you have to whatever data collected, you have to analyze in the suitable way. So data analysis plays an important role in your project. So whenever you are doing quantitative paper, the value of the study will be more. So now, analysis and interpretation are vital steps in the research procedure. The aim of the analysis is to organize, classify, and summarize the collected data so that they can be better comprehended and interpreted to give answers to the questions that prompted the research. So, interpretation is a search for the broader meaning of findings. Analysis is not satisfied without interpretation. So, interpretation is very, very important. Interpretation cannot proceed without analysis. So, both analysis as well as interpretation is very, very important. So, hope you understood now what is data, what are the different types of data. We can classify data in accordingly, like primary data and secondary data according to the sources of data collection, or you can classify data as quantitative data or qualitative data. Accordingly, how you can measure quantitatively or qualitatively. And also, you know now the importance of analysis and interpretation. Now, let us learn how to do the data analysis using the various methods. I'll be explaining you how you can, through one questionnaire, I will explain how to do simple data analysis techniques. Okay, so let us, I will take one questionnaire for you. For an example, I'll take a title. Accordingly, I will show you one questionnaire. Then, same way, when you are doing the project, you can discuss with your guide. After identifying the suitable title, you will be collecting the basic information about related to the title. And after writing the basic definitions and concepts and all, you will be mentioning about the company profile, industry profile, where you are doing the project. After that, you will be making the research design. So you should know, when you are making the research design, you should know what is the meaning of sample, what is the meaning of population, what is parameter, what is statistic, and also you should know what is hypothesis, how to do the hypothesis testing and all. So let us know first what is population. The number of items, or all the collection of all the items which you have taken for the study, that is called population. From the population, because you cannot ask everything to all the items of the population during the survey. So you will be taking some sample, and with that sample you will be doing the interview or survey. So the item selected from a population is called sample, and the process of selecting the item from the population is called sampling. Now there are various sampling methods are there. Like sampling can be classified into probability sampling or non-probability sampling. Again, in probability you may have studied in research methodology, this theory part. So probability sampling is when you are selecting any item. No, you are taking, without any, deliberately you are not selecting, randomly you are selecting. Such type of sampling is called probability sampling. Again, probability sampling, there are so many types, like simple random sampling, cluster sampling, systematic sampling, and stratified sampling. Also in non-probability sampling, there is judgment sampling, like convenience sampling, quota sampling. There are various sampling techniques are there. Most of the projects or management or commerce students when we are doing, you'll be using simple random sampling or you'll be using convenience sampling. So simple random sampling is the probability sampling. Like each item of the population have equal chance of selection. That is called simple random sampling. For example, in your class, suppose I am selecting some students for some specific work. Suppose in your
Ma'am,
college now
excuse me,
seminar
ma'am.
is, yes,
Screen
yes,
presentation.
ma'am. Screen is not coming.
Yes, ma'am.
No, now I am speaking for some time. After that, I will be showing the screen. I will be sharing the screen now with your questionnaire. I have no sharing the screen. I will do when I am showing the questionnaire. Now I am talking to them. Just importance of sampling. Then I will go to the screen and show them. Okay. So sampling is very important. Which sampling you are using? So simple random sampling or convenience sampling you can use for your study. Especially as I told you, management as well as commerce students when you are doing your project. If you are using the probability sampling, you can go with simple random sampling. Depends upon your the concept. So you have to discuss with your guide for selecting the sampling method, either convenient sampling or simple random sampling. Even you can go with the cluster sampling or multi-stage sampling. Now let me explain you how to do the analysis with simple statistical method. So first I will show you one questionnaire and then I will explain you how to do the analysis for that. So let me see the questionnaire now. Okay, so you can see the questionnaire. Can you see the questionnaire? Is the questionnaire is visible? Sir, questionnaire is visible, ma'am. Hello, questionnaire is visible, ma'am. Hello, can you see the questionnaire? 1 minute, I will be sure. See here,
Ma'am, it is visible.
visible. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so in this questionnaire, I have like you can also make the questionnaire like this. First, you will be asking the personal information because you have to during analysis time you will be explaining the demographic variables. So the gender of the respondents, age group in years, educational qualification, experience in years, occupation, marital status, nature of the job. The marital status is not compulsory. It depends upon the topic which you are choosing, whether it can be included or not. You can discuss it. Okay. So some of the basic information or the personal information of the respondents you'll be collecting for the analysis. That is the analysis you'll be doing with the demographic variables. Another section you will be taking the you will be mentioning the questions or statements related to your title. So this is called this first one which I have shown that will be for the demographic variable. Remaining variables under your study, like your very independent variable, dependent variable will be there in your study. So what is the relationship? What is the impact of the independent variable on the dependent variable? What is the cause and effect? You want to study. So here one example I have taken like questionnaire for attributes influencing consumer visiting malls in Bangalore. You can take Chennai or somewhere, near so and so place. So you want to know the you are analyzing the attributes. Why the customers are visiting the malls? In that, so many attributes are there, but which attribute attracting the customer more? Suppose you are the owner of the mall, or no, you want to know which particular attribute is attracting the customer. So when the manager, suppose the owner of the mall want to increase the customer satisfaction, they want to have more competitive advantage. So they will be doing the survey with their customer, and then they will find out which one customer find more important. So after finding that, suppose some of the attribute is not satisfactory, then you can improve that. So to improve the customer satisfaction, to improve more profit or competitive advantage, they can do the survey. Even as a student, you will be doing the survey to understand which particular attribute is attracting the customers more. So here in a particular mall, you are going to identify which attribute is attracting the customer more. Just for an example, I have taken. So there are 12 attributes I have taken here: location, operating time, parking facility, cleanliness, spacious shop floor, etc. etc. Now you are asking the questions or the statement about location, operating time, and all to the customers, whether they are satisfied or highly satisfied or neutral, dissatisfied, highly dissatisfied. So the coding you are giving as highly satisfied 5, satisfied 4, like neutral, neither satisfied nor dissatisfied as 3, dissatisfied 2, and highly dissatisfied 1. So they will be ticking in one of the option here. So imagine you have collected this, you have sent this questionnaire to your to the respondents from whom you want to collect the data, and you have collected the responses. So, like now, I am showing for the example 50 responses. Okay, I'll share this. Now, this is the questionnaire. Like this, you will be making one questionnaire, and then you will be getting approval from your guide. Yes, you can proceed for your analysis. Now, how to do the analysis part? So, I will show you one Excel sheet now, where the data is collected. See, I will be showing the data first. After that, I will tell you how to do the simple analysis. Can you see the screen? Excel is open. So all the collected data, if you send the questionnaire through mail or Google form, in Excel sheet, the questionnaire will come. So you can use that using simple Excel itself. Now I will be showing. Wait. Is the Excel sheet visible? Yes. Okay. Now,
Yes.
see the data. Yeah, serial number. I have collected the data from 50 respondents, and gender, age group, educational qualification, all this is filled. All these attributes, like from starting from location up to the 12 attributes I have taken for all the respondents, 50 respondents have answered. Either they have chosen 1, 2, or 3, or 4. If they are highly satisfied, they might have put 5. So this data, if you send through Google form, or you can do any method of data collection, but finally you can enter in the Excel like this. So you'll be getting the data. So collected data is here. Now we are going to start the analysis part. See first what you can do, gender. So gender, male means 1 and female means 2. We have coded like that. So here male I have given the number 1 and number 2 is female. So in Excel sheet under gender, you can, I will do it and show one. See freshly I am doing. Here you can put is equal to count if you can type, and then you can select these cells. You can select these cells, and then you can comma 1, close the bracket, enter. You will get 33. It means there are 33 males are there, and the remaining will be females. So you can select this, you can is equal to count if you put, and then select these cells and comma 1. If you put comma 2, you will get number of females. Similarly, for age group, you can put for age group same way the formula you can do like is equal to count if like C2 to C51. Number one for age group, what it represents up to 30 years. Number two represent 31 to 40 years. Number three, 41 to 50, and number four, above 50. So you can mention the same formula like count if number one if you put the first range of age, second range of age, third range of age, fourth range of age. Now what you can do after finding these how many people are there. See, using Excel, you no need of counting, just use the simple Excel formula to identify how many respondents in each category. Now, male 34, female 16, just what you can do, you can put your chapter, it is chapter 4 or chapter 3, data analysis and interpretation. First, table 1, frequency distribution of gender of respondents. You can write gender of managers or your respondents, you can write, and male, female, total. Now, male, if it is 34, female is 60. The total is 50, you can convert into percentage. Okay, I have shown for example 50, it can be 70, 80 or 100, that is depends upon your title and the instruction given by the university. So down you can write source primary data. This table should be in the center, and then make the proper title and in the down you have to mention where is the source from where you have collected. Okay, then the corresponding diagram for the data you can draw. Means you can take Excel only. See gender, this only I have copied and pasted here, and then just select this data, go to the insert chart. There are so many charts are there. Okay, you can go to this chart, there will be pie chart or bar graph or line graph, anything whatever you want you can take it. So the corresponding chart will come, then you can uh, use that chart here and you can paste it in a Word document. See this, for this corresponding chart I made, and then just a copy, one click copy and paste it in the Word document. You will get the chart. So for every statement, like first the table, table heading, table, then the chart, then you have to write the interpretation. That is important. So for each statement, you will be making the table, diagram, and the interpretation. Similarly, for the example, second one. The age group, as I told you, you can make the in the Excel only count if you put first age group how many, and the second age group how many people are there, third age group, fourth age group. Just to copy that numbers and paste here. When you are copying and pasting, here you have used the formula. So when you are pasting, you should put the paste special values only. Otherwise, that suppose I am copying this, and when you are pasting here, you have to use the second option values. This will come. Now you can select this and this to use the. You can make the graph, corresponding graph. You can go to insert uh, graph. If you whatever graph you want, pie chart or bar graph, whatever suitable graph you can make, and then you can copy and paste it in your Word document. So again, table number 2, age group as well as the table, the graph. Okay, so then you can write the interpretation. So in this, which age group is more, that you can mention. So 41 to 50 age group people are more, and followed by the sorry up to 30 years the respondents are more. Okay, and followed by 41 to 50. So that you can mention in the interpretation. Remember, these are all what we are doing demographic variable. We have to start with demographic variable, then we have to explain about the independent and the dependent variable. So the table, graph, and the interpretation like this. How much demographic variable you have? See in the Excel sheet, you have gender, age group, educational qualification, experience, occupation, marital status. For everything, you can use the same type of formula. In this only you select. For example, you want to use occupation. So occupation, how we have classified? See the question. Occupation we have classified as public sector, private sector, business owner. So number one represent public sector respondents, and number two private sector respondents, number three business owners. So you can if you want to find how many people are from public sector, again the same formula, count it. Here what you have done, just same you copy and paste it, and then you can enter. It will show you Number one, number two, how many, number three, how many. Again, you can copy and paste in the down and make the suitable graph, whatever. Same type of graph, don't make. One pie chart means another one bar graph, another one line graph, another one 3D graph, different graph, different colors to attract. So that the report will be very neat and clean and attractive. So you use different colors, different graphs, and but it should be suitable for the data. Accordingly, you select. Some of the graphs is not suitable for some of the characteristics. So suitable graph you have to select and put it. So demographic variable over. I have just to show the example. Now come to the main variables. Here we are going to analyze which attribute is attracting the customers more for a particular mall. See, for different mall it may vary. You can compare different malls at a time or one mall only with different attributes. Now here we are going to learn which particular attribute is more attracting the customer. So we are going to do for this also. See the Excel sheet in location, people, how many people? Like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One represent uh, dissatisfied, very much dissatisfied. Two represent just dissatisfied. I will show you the questionnaire in that we have mentioned. See, highly satisfied is 5. Satisfied is 4. Neutral, neither satisfied nor dissatisfied is 3. Dissatisfied is number 2. Highly dissatisfied 1. So here you can use the same counting formula. For example, location. How many people are highly dissatisfied? You are using the formula is equal to count if from which cell you are starting. This is I2, ith column, second row. So I2 to I51. So 50 rows are there. Number 1, we want how many people? So nobody is highly dissatisfied. That is why 0. So this represents how many people are, nobody is highly dissatisfied, but dissatisfied one person is there. 13 people are neutral, 24 people are satisfied, and 12 people are highly satisfied. So you can use this formula, no need of manually counting, and you will be getting the respondents. Now you can just copy and paste it in the suitable graph you can make again. See the this one. For example, location. In this, highly satisfied is 10, satisfied is 9. This from there only you can copy paste it. Correspondingly, percentage you can take. So proper way of table heading you have to give. Like already we have given 4.2.5, you can mention 4.2.6 table representing the location, attribute location. Now, similarly for each factor, you can make the table graph interpretation. So in a location, uh, which attribute is more like location highly satisfied is 10. Neutral is more 28. Like this for every attribute, you can make the graph and the table as well as interpretation. But what is the special thing you are going to do? Because this everybody will be doing. No, most of the project you see the table graph and the interpretation will be there, but something unique you want to do. So what you can do now, you have to very carefully listen now. So you understood now how to find out the number of respondents giving the particular answer, like how many people are putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accordingly the satisfaction level. So that I have found here. Now what you do, these all values, whatever we got now, you can either start with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or start with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How many highly satisfied, how many is just satisfied, how many neutral and all. These all you can copy. See, I will do it and show. For the 12 attributes, you can just copy and what we need, because we need in the now it is in the row wise. No, I am copying this. I will be pasting on it. I will show here in the new sheet. While pasting, what you do, or first I will paste it values, so that values came here. Now I am going to again copy. I will put the transpose of that. See the fourth option, transpose. So now I got all the attributes horizontally. Okay, why I have done like this? I want to know the particular attribute which is attracting for this particular mall more. So this whatever we got from the Excel sheet, in this no we have counted using counting formula for each factor how many opted we have calculated that values we have entered here column wise. We have whatever we got row wise I have entered column wise. The reason we are going to 12 attributes are there in this which one. So now first one highly satisfied, second option satisfied, neutral, and dissatisfied, highly dissatisfied. This you can copy and paste in this. Like I have mentioned all the 12 factors individual graphs after drawing. You can make like this: serial number, statement, how many people. That what I have copied, that only I have pasted here. Now you got the people, how many respondents, how many people for each attributes, how many highly satisfied, how many satisfied you got. Now what analysis you are going to do? I will show you. See, after doing this, we have to identify the mean. So how to identify? See here, we know, yeah, we know this one is highly satisfied. Highly satisfied, I am writing HS. Okay, satisfied, yes, I am writing. Neutral, just NE I will write here. Dissatisfied, so DS, and highly dissatisfied. Only for our understanding, I am making like this short form. After that you can write the full form and so now I'm going to use this. See, highly satisfied, we know point the points are 5. I want to find the mean, so is equal to, we can write first uh, sum. First I will find the total. Okay, is equal to sum, or I will find the average. I will use the formula. Or just because it is not ordinary average, because the 12 people are highly satisfied. We know for highly satisfied point is 5. So what I will do, 12 into 5. Or we can, instead of writing 12, you select that cell, this into 5, because highly satisfied, the value is 5, plus this cell you multiply with 4, because satisfied is 4. Okay, next you put plus, and then next cell is neutral, the point is 3. Okay, again put plus, the next one into uh, 2, and the last one you say plus you have to put. Then the last cell, the value is 1 for that. You can close the bracket, enter. You are getting 197. Again, I'll tell what I did, because highly satisfied scores 1. So 12 into 5, 24 into 4, and 13 into. So you select that particular cell, then just drag it. Otherwise, so individually, if you do so much time, it will take. So in front of the first row is equal to this cell into 5, this cell into 4, this cell into 2, sorry, 3, 2, 1, then adding. So now you got the total. So just drag, you get the total for everything. So we got the total score. If you observe which total is high, for that again no need of manually doing. You copy this and you paste here. First I am pasting, because there I use the formula. So only values I pasted now. So now again you copy here. I'm going to put, or you can here only you can we want to find which is high. Go to this one here, sort. In that sort we want to know highest to lowest. No, here is fine. We can select this. We want the highest, so largest to smallest to know the ranks. So 228, where which attribute is having 228, we have to name the attributes. I have done and kept here. You see. See, I have the total I have mentioned here. What I have done the same here. Here, whatever we got, no, the total. Now we got this total arranged in order. So that is here in this Excel. Now in this order, after arranging here and finding the highest is 228. So that 228 belongs to which attribute? You can put this name. Otherwise there I will show it here. I will paste here. Because we should know the name of the attribute which is having highest score. Now if you see 228 is the highest one. 228 belongs to spacious shop floor. Next to highest is 213. 213 belongs to parking facility because of the parking facility customers are more attracted. And 212 belongs to which number? Here you see here assortment of products and services. How well the variety of products in that mall. So, like this, you can identify which particular attribute is attracting the customers more. So, what we did, we have used our Excel data from our, so whatever responses we collected from the data, we have done first using the demographic variable, we have done our demographic data analysis, and then we can use the main variables of our study here attributes of in the which are attracting the customers in the malls. So in these various attributes, we have calculated each highly satisfied how many like that each category we found the total. We have that numbers I have made you to I told you how to write this, just to put the values, and then you can transpose, you can make it, and then you can find the total by like a weighted average method. We can find out the weighted arithmetic mean, and first we have calculated the average, even mean we can calculate. For that is equal to, because this total is how many people because 50 respondents were there, so we have to divide, we have to find, you can directly you can find the average, or just you can put this value divided by 50. We will get the mean of that. Just if you drag it, you will get all the means of all the attributes. From this also you can say the highest mean goes to, this is 4.56, goes to spacious shop floor. So it depends upon the data, depends upon the respondents, how they are responding for a particular mall. So it cannot be same for all the malls or all the respondents. It may vary according to the data as well as the respondents. So you can identify which particular attribute is attracting the customer, and even you can find which is the least here. We find the least is 190. 190 belongs to ambience. So ambience of the mall is not so good. That is why the least point. So if you are the mall owner, you can take care of the ambience, and in order to improve the customer satisfaction, or in order to improve the number of customers to your mall, you can make it all right. So identifying even at the customer point of view or the outsider as a researcher, you can identify. Suppose you are doing the internship project, you can identify like this, and you can write the suggestion, recommendations. So here recommendation you can mention the mall owner can take care of ambience to in order to improve the customer satisfaction. So if already high, that is good, they can improve further and to improve the number of customers. So here we have identified which particular attribute is having the highest rank and which is having the least rank. So to order or to rank the attributes, we use this simple analysis tool. Now one more analysis I will explain you. Suppose you are doing the customer satisfaction about some shampoo. Okay, so if you talk about shampoo, there are so many shampoos are there. In this first example which I told you here, there are so many attributes, but you have taken one particular mall and you were doing the analysis which particular attribute is no more important here or considered very important by the customers. But suppose you want to analyze or you want to compare which particular shampoo. There are so many shampoos varieties are there. Or take the same example, so many malls are there. You want to know which particular mall is good or very much attracted by the customer. So the first example, I have told you one mall only, but various attributes, and we found which particular attribute is taking a very much important place. But if you have so many malls, you want to compare. So now you take any four important attributes, and according to that particular four five attributes, you analyze all the different malls, and you can identify which particular mall is considered as the best by the customer. So I will take one example of shampoo to explain this. See, suppose no, there are variety of shampoos available. One minute. Yeah, suppose variety of shampoos available, like example Pantene, Sunshine, All Clear, others, or just like an write in shampoo one, two, three. Otherwise, a particular company will get angry with you. So I'm taking shampoo one, shampoo two, shampoo three, shampoo four, and you are taking the attributes like fragrance, cost, available for different hairstyles or texture, chemical free, color, packaging, availability, like that you are giving so many characteristics or attributes for the shampoos, and you have taken four type of shampoos, and you have collected the data from your respondents. So the respondents gave the values how these numbers came. For that you have to the same way you can use Likert scale, like you can write strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, or any 5 point scale or 7 point scale according to the convenience you can make. And then after that you can find the total. And I told you how to find the mean, like this mean you can find. Then you can paste here. So now the in this example, what I am showing, this example what I'm showing, after doing all that things what we got no as the mean, like here in the first example I got the uh, mean of the attributes here for one mall 3.94, 4.16. How to calculate I explained. Same way you can calculate for all the four type of shampoos and paste here for shampoo 1, shampoo 2, shampoo 3, shampoo 4. These means are no, obtained by the same methodology how we have done for the mall one. So now how to identify which particular particular shampoo is more attractive or by the for the customers. So for that, you can use this data. Just select it, go to insert, and then charts. In charts, special charts are there. See more charts. You can select this radar chart. Okay, this radar chart if you use, you can get okay. I will do little maximize and explain you. Okay, now if you observe this chart, see cost. All the characteristics are given here, but shampoo 4, this yellow color, and shampoo 3, like a little gray color, and blue color is shampoo 1, and like orange color, shampoo 2. Now you observe one by one characteristic cost, which is considered by the customer according to cost or according to the price. You can say this shampoo 4 is good according to the availability for different hairstyles or hair not hairstyles, hair types. So that is the blue color one, shampoo 1 and shampoo 2. That because that is coming in the last end. Next to texture, according to texture, blue color represents shampoo 1 as well as the yellow color one, shampoo 4. So according to different characteristics, which particular shampoo is taking that place, you can very well write the interpretation. See, you will be making the interpretation like this for each data, for each characteristic. No, for you will be mentioning this table, you will be mentioning the graph, you will be writing the interpretation. Apart from that, apart from this, you will be making this extra analysis, which will take more value. When you are doing the project, the externals will see what different you have done, what unique thing you have done, so that they will give you, they will appreciate you, and you will also have more satisfaction when you are doing any study. So here you can identify which particular characteristic and which particular shampoo is having that. Overall, if you see, most of the time which is coming outside is the yellow color one. Here, according to color, according to the texture, according to the cost, according to the availability, yellow color shampoo, that is yellow color here, it is representing S4 shampoo. So shampoo 4 is the best shampoo considered by the customers or the respondents whom you have done the survey. So like which is the least also you can find out, so you can write the interpretation in different way. So apart from the usual analysis what you are doing, like the percentage table, graph, and for bar chart, pie chart, you can use spider chart, you can use radar chart. There are different techniques available now. So make something new and something innovative, and so that your project will be considered. The externals will be appreciate your work. Yes, it is a unique. It's not a copy and pasted project because you have done this type of analysis, in a better way. So make identify the proper title, identify the which and all the measures you are going to do there with the consultation of your guide, proper questionnaire you make, and then you make the demographic and identify the demographic variables which are suitable for your analysis, and do the demographic data analysis first as I told you here, and then you can do the main variables what are here. I have shown the example like attributes, which is the most. You can rank the attributes in different methods. So there are so many statistical simple analysis tools are there which you can learn and do and make your project very unique. Okay, so after collecting all this, now the simple analysis what traditionally you are doing, that you can put. Apart from that, the extra thing you can do like this, the percentage method, as well as comparing the attributes and finding out which is the best. So there are so many method like repeat analysis, gray analysis, that also you can use to rank the factors or the items which is having the highest rank. What is the use of that? After identifying, you can write the proper interpretation, proper findings, proper suggestion. So for that, it will be very helpful. Otherwise, simply you will be making the bar chart, pie graph, and write the interpretation. Just in the picture, whatever is there, that percentage you will write. But here, we are finding something new which can be really suggested to the organization. So this way you can do the statistical analysis. These are all called descriptive data analysis. Apart that you can do inferential data analysis also. Inferential data analysis will be doing hypothesis testing. So since the time constraint, 1 hour time only is there, we cannot do so many things in this 1 hour. But I have explained you simple data analysis tools which we can do use for descriptive data analysis. So for inferential analysis, you should know what is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a statement which can be true or not about the population. So about the population, whatever statement you are making, that is hypothesis. But hypothesis can be classified as null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis. For example, suppose you are buying the milk packets, 500 ml milk packet, there is a complaint from the customer that milk content is not correct. Some of the packets are having less milk content. So the complaint has come to the manufacturer or the owner. So the owner will be assuming whenever anything is saying, no, we will not agree. How we can say, no, 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 my people are working properly, my machine is filling properly, that it cannot be possible. So the statement which is made for the possible rejection is called null hypothesis. The opposite statement of null hypothesis is called alternate hypothesis. Now, null hypothesis is true or alternate hypothesis is true, we have to do the analysis. Suppose there is a complaint about the milk content in the milk packet, half-liter milk packet, customer is complaining that milk is less. So the complaint is taken. So the null hypothesis, those who are doing the research quality department people, the organization is filling, check whether really the complaint is correct or wrong. So the quality department, you are the researcher there, you are working as a quality manager, you will be taking the sample. You cannot do all the items, all the milk packets, you cannot check. So you will be taking some sample. The sample size should be suitable. Again, there is some formula to find out the sample size. So using the suitable sample size formula, take the sample size and then you find the average milk content of the packets. If the milk content now the average is 497 ml, Can you decide the machine is not functioning properly, or can you say the people those who are working they are doing some mistake? There is an issue there. So we cannot say because we have not taken every packet of the milk. We have taken only the sample. So whenever we are taking sample and doing or we are making decision, we cannot say 100% it is correct. So we have to do testing the hypothesis. So hypothesis testing when you are doing the sample average we have like a 497 ml, 500 ml is the population mean. You can use the testing the is that test we'll be using, and we can check whether the milk filling machine is working properly or not. Similarly, proportion, we can find a test for attributes, association between the variables. Is there any significant relationship between the variables? Or is there the impact of one independent variable on the dependent variable? Is it significant or not? We can find. So there are various hypothesis testing method we can use, or using Excel or various statistical analysis tools like SPSS, AMOS. You can use, we can nowadays so many statistical tools are available, but free and simple easy one is Excel. You can all of you can learn even inferential analysis how to do using Excel. So you can do the demographic variable analysis, then descriptive analysis. After that you can use the inferential analysis for your data. So data analysis in this way you can use in say, using simple method. And okay. Ma'am, can I extend or
Uh, okay, ma'am, we will
extend?
extend.
Can I extend, sir?
Okay,
Little.
okay, okay, ma'am. We'll extend. No problem.
Okay. So we can use statistical analysis for inferential data analysis also. So for inferential data analysis, you have to, as I told you, is a test. Is a test we can use for comparing two means, or comparing the sample mean and the population mean. Or you want to know whether two sample means are significantly different or not. So, or you can identify whether the sample proportion and the population proportion are equal or not. For example, suppose in Chennai, like 90% of customers are using so and so product. So that is the assumption of the manufacturer, because they want to manufacture according to the demand or the expectation of the customer. So the proportion, sample proportion, they can identify some sample like some thousand people they can do the survey, and the survey when they have done the proportion is suppose 80%, but their assumption initially was 90%. So now using sample they got the proportion as 90%, and sorry, the 85% sample proportion, but the population proportion is 90%. Now they can identify whether these two are equal or not. So for that they can use again is a test for equality of proportion. And also two proportions you want to know. Suppose in Chennai and Bangalore, the same product you want to know the sales. So you can compare two proportions whether significantly they are varying or not. If they are varying significantly, what is the reason? So different way you can do the analysis, using Z test, using is that test for mean, is that test for proportion, and also you can use ANOVA if more than two variables, no, more than two means you want to compare. Suppose there are no in four cities for a particular product, you want to compare the average, or you want to compare the certain characteristic. So for that you cannot use Z test or T test. Will be using ANOVA. More than two variables, if you want to compare, you have to use ANOVA. So if you are considering one particular attribute, will be using one way ANOVA. Otherwise, more than one, like two characteristic at a time. Suppose there are different washing powders are there. You take four types of washing powder and three types of water condition. Okay, warm water, cold water, and hot water. So now you want to know which particular washing powder is effective. So now first the null hypothesis will be there is no significant difference between the water conditions, or there is no significant difference between the detergent powder in the effectiveness, cleanliness. The alternate hypothesis is there is a significant difference. So you can collect the data and then you can do the testing, the hypothesis for ANOVA. You are using both the characters like different water condition as well as different type of detergent powder to weigh ANOVA. To identify really there is a significant difference between the uh, clean effectiveness of washing powders or the detergent powder. Another type, like suppose there are four salespersons are there in the same mall, same shop, there are four people working. So you want to know the efficiency of the people you want to compare. Otherwise in different stores you want to compare the performance of the employee. So you can do different way the analysis, collecting the data, suitable data, and doing the analysis. All these no, we are doing mainly for decision making. As the managers, future managers of various organization, you will be doing main part is you will be making decision making. For decision making, we should not do any bias, during decision making. If we do bias, then it will affect the performance of the organization. So unbiased decision, proper decision, for that we need to collect data, analyze, and then based upon the analysis, the proper interpretation, the interpretation should be converted into decision. So that way of statistical analysis and decision making will be really helpful to improve the performance. Hope this session is useful for you all. Hope all of you, when doing the project, you will be you will be using the proper analysis method, proper questionnaire, and you will be using these tools and making the proper interpretation and get very good marks for your project. Not only that, and even when you are working in an organization or your own firm you are having, whenever you are taking decision, you will not take decision simply. You will be using the data analysis. No need of manually. There are so many softwares are there. You'll be using that, and you will be taking decisions upon that. Analysis and the interpretation. All the very best for all the students for your valuable project work and the analysis. Whatever doubt you have in today's session, you can post in the chat box, and I can clear your doubts. You can ask now also any doubts if you have.
Student, any doubt, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, shall we wind up the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am J. Lavanya. I am here to present the vote of thanks for today's webinar. I would like to thank our chief guest, Professor Ramalakshmi Vasudevan, for visiting and enlightening us with your knowledge and presence. Thank you, ma'am. We are thankful to our secretary and correspondent, sir, Mr. MGE Sellapalam, sir, and our respected principal, Dr. S. Murugesan, sir, for their motivation and supported to conduct this webinar. And also thankful to our vice principal, Dr. A. Lalitambigai, ma'am, and Professor S. Asaitambi, sir. A special thanks to our organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff for the infringing support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for active participation with these warm words and a kind message. We have to move the end of today's webinar. Thank you all. Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
ma'am.
you, lot. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Sir, any question?
Thank you, ma'am. It is very
Thank you.
useful for the students as well as
Thank you, sir.
my department. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Okay. Okay. End of the question.